John 3:16 is one of the most famous Bible verses in the world, but many people know the words without actually understanding the nighttime conversation behind them. Welcome to Bible Simply Asked. Today we're walking through a visual explainer of what people usually miss about this absolutely incredible passage. If you enjoy clear, honest Bible explanations, go ahead and like and subscribe so you don't miss future ones. Let's get right into it. We're looking at a pretty profound contrast right off the bat here. Is John 3:16 just a standalone bumper sticker, or is it a late-night rescue mission? Most of us have probably seen these words printed on billboards, maybe on the bottom of a shopping bag, or held up on neon signs at football games. But the actual origin of this verse isn't a modern pulpit or a crowded sports stadium. It's actually a quiet, shadowy, ancient Jerusalem street. Section 1. The Late-Night Visitor. Let's look at who was actually talking to Jesus on this specific night. This was a man named Nicodemus. He was a man of the Pharisees and a ruler of the Jews. What that means is he was a high-ranking religious leader. He was highly educated, and he was deeply respected in his community. But notice that final detail on the list. He came to Jesus by night. Picture a highly respected politician essentially sneaking out under the cover of darkness. He really wanted honest answers, but he just wasn't quite ready to risk his sterling reputation in the broad daylight. And his opening line brilliantly illustrates his mindset as he approaches the lamplight. Nicodemus says, "Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher come from God, for no one can do these signs that you do unless God is with him." He definitely recognizes something deeply divine in Jesus. He's putting the puzzle pieces together, even if he doesn't quite have the full picture of exactly who Jesus is just yet. Section 2. Being born anew. Now, Jesus doesn't just politely say thank you to the compliment. Instead, speaking warmly to Nicodemus, Jesus looks right at him and says, "Most certainly I tell you, unless one is born anew, he can't see God's kingdom." Jesus cuts straight through the small talk. He goes right to the heart of the matter, speaking about the absolute necessity of a complete, total spiritual restart. Now, listen to the honest confusion this creates. Nicodemus asks, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter a second time into his mother's womb? The poor guy is a very literal thinker. He is trying to map this mysterious spiritual concept onto a purely physical reality. And honestly, it just isn't making any sense to him. There's no way that works. So the crucial point here is understanding the original language Jesus is actually using. The Greek word used is anothen, and that can be translated as born anew, born again, or even born from above. Jesus is talking about a heavenly, spiritual rebirth by water and spirit. He's absolutely not talking about a physical do-over. To really help him understand, Jesus contrasts these two realms. Flesh produces flesh, meaning human effort only produces human results, but spirit produces spirit. Jesus beautifully compares the spirit to the wind. Think about it. You can't see the wind, and you don't know exactly where it comes from, but you can undeniably feel its profound effects. The exact same is true for a person who experiences this new birth from above. Section 3. Unpacking John 3:16. This brings us right to the blueprint of rescue. Let's break this famous verse down line by line so we can see the exact mechanics of how a person is actually born anew. Jesus says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only born son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life." Let's zoom in on that very first phrase, God so loved the world. For a Pharisee like Nicodemus, who was totally expecting a restricted, exclusive kingdom meant only for Israel, this was a shocking, radical concept. Jesus is revealing that God's unconditional love extends far beyond those borders. It goes to the entire globe. Next, we see the profound phrase, gave his son. The original Greek word here is monogenes, meaning his unique one and only son. God sent this completely unique son into the world not to condemn it, not to judge it, but to actively save it. It's a staggering sacrifice that Jesus actually connects just moments earlier to the Son of Man descending directly from heaven. And what is the response required for this amazing rescue? To believe in him. Now, belief here means so much more than simply acknowledging in your head that Jesus exists. It means actively trusting and relying on him for rescue. Earlier in their nighttime talk, Jesus reminded Nicodemus of how the ancient Israelites had to actively look at the bronze serpent Moses lifted up in the wilderness to be healed. Belief is an active, dependent, lifeline-style trust. And this brilliantly illustrates the stakes of that trust. The passage outlines two ultimate destinies. To perish means remaining judged and separated from God. And sadly, that is the natural trajectory of humanity wandering in the dark. But eternal life means receiving a beautiful gift. It's a new, permanent, unending life safely brought into God's family through Jesus. Section 4. Light versus darkness. Jesus says this is the judgment, that the light has come into the world. Imagine a soft, warm, golden glow beginning to pierce the dark room where these two men sat talking in the middle of the night. Jesus is declaring that he is literally that light, stepping directly into a dark world to illuminate the way home for us. So, the crucial point is the choice presented here. Jesus explains that those in the darkness hate the light, mainly because they want to keep their own evil works hidden safely in the shadows of their mistakes. But coming to the light, that means bravely stepping into the warm truth. It means allowing your life to be revealed and securely anchored in God. Section 5. Why it matters today. If we look at the whole thread of John 3, it's just a beautiful progression. It starts with step 1, an honest question in the dark from a man seeking truth without fully understanding it. Step 2, Jesus extends a warm, incredible invitation to a completely new spiritual birth. And step 3, it culminates in the brave choice of escaping the darkness and stepping fully into the light. John 3:16 isn't just some disconnected thought. It beautifully threads together this entire journey. Which brings us to our final takeaway. John 3:16 is not just a famous quote. It is Jesus explaining God's love, rescue, and new life. It's a beautiful invitation bathed in the peaceful, warm morning light of truth. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. If this helped you understand the Bible a little more clearly today, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Until next time, what steps can you take today to walk further into that light?